This is the internet after all, and you know everyone's an expert. And I know there's going to be lots of comments about bodywork. Since I'm an auto mechanic and not a body mechanic, I don't know everything about bodywork. What I do know though is that painting a Ferrari is a real pain in the you-know-where. You see, these cars were made during a period that Ferrari was trying to set up an assembly line. However, there was still a lot of work being done by hand. Add to that panels that were being stamped out by really poor quality dies, and they were being hand fitted to the car, and they didn't fit so well. Their answer for mismatched panels and defects was to use high build filler and primers. After spending more hours than Lawrence cares to admit, him and I have come to an understanding. He's going to fix whatever damage is obvious and he can fix easily, but we're not going to reinvent the wheel. We're going to leave the Ferrari work as it was. I would love to say that all the filler was gone, but let's face it, spending that kind of money, well, it's not worth it on this car. And simply, if it was good enough for Ferrari, it's good enough for me. If you watched the last video, you saw me paint marks on a timing belt, transfer them, and also use a long drill bit to find TDC. Now, if you were looking through the Ferrari workshop manual for proper procedure, that wouldn't be it.
I've been using the drill bit method, which is kind of goofy, and I understand that. You don't need to tell me that. It's not the proper way, but it was the quick way. Now, we're going to do it somewhat closer to proper, and I'm going to use a digital runout gauge.
What am I doing right now? Well, I'm double checking everything. And I'm doing that by dropping a 3/8 extension down the number 1 cylinder spark plug hole so it sits gently on top of the piston. And I'm using this digital runout gauge to find the exact moment when the piston reaches the very top of its stroke. The workshop manual does not describe this method either, but I have to improvise because I don't have the flywheel sitting on the back of the motor to get the reference points off of.
Center. Okay. A little friction on that, and you can see it's dropping back down there.
What you can't see right now is me gently turning the motor over by hand at the front pulley.
Okay. And if we look at my marks, I'm exactly on. Right there, you can see the mark on the camshaft and on the cap. I'll go over there. And that mark. And that mark. I'd say those are lined up. Alright, so I am now 100% sure that my timing is perfect. I have double checked, triple checked, and quadruple checked, and the previous installer of the belt did it properly. My little yellow goofy paint the belt worked properly, and now I know I am on.
Since I'm in the checking of things mood, let's move on to the valve lash. Now, I'm not going to do a valve adjustment on this car. All I'm going to do is confirm that it was done properly before. Sorting through my feeler gauges, I actually have the right ones. How weird is that? A valve adjustment, while technically not that difficult, it requires a bit of a feel. I guess that's why they call them feeler gauges. If everything was done proper at the last service, this should only take me about 15 or 20 minutes. I'll check everything here, roll it to 360 degrees, check everything else, and then roll it to 720 degrees back to where I started. These cam covers have been waiting for me and I can't put them off any longer. It's time to start the cleaning process. In the shop we have what's commonly referred to as a sandblast cabinet. I guess it's technically a media blast, but the stuff that's in it is far too coarse for these valve covers. I don't want them all pitted. So I'm going to chemically strip them and power wash them and see if I can get all this stuff off. Round 1 goes to the power washer. The power washer kept sending them flying, so I stupidly put my foot on them to hold them. I got real wet. As I was changing into a dry pair of pants, I came up with an idea. I think the saying is, work smarter, not harder. perhaps donning some proper safety equipment might be a decent idea. Rinse and repeat.
Alright, so taking a look at the valve covers, I can clearly see the difference. One of them was sandblasted, as I suspected. The rear valve cover, the cover that's easier to get to, has obviously got a different finish on it. So I'm going to show you that right now. And I didn't want to sandblast them because I don't like that matte sort of coarse finish, but at this point I don't have much choice. I mean, it's not the end of the world, but I would have preferred it not to have been there. Anyways, let's take a look. I'm going to flip this camera right down. Let's take a look down here. This is the front valve cover, so this is the one closest to the firewall of the vehicle. You can see that nice finish on it. This is just really, as it came, just cleaning it up. Remember, it was painted. It came off fairly easily. Then we look at this one here. I've still got some work left to do on it. I've still got to get stuff off of it. It's coming slowly, but the paint is really stuck to this one, barely stuck to that one, and that's because it's so coarse and the paint can just grab into that sandblasting, all the little pitting from the sandblasting. And that's exactly what I didn't want, because if you look at the two of them, I was going for that finish right there. Now I could send them out and have them polished. That's a lot of effort for something that isn't that big of a deal. Anyways, just thought I'd show you. It's New Year's Eve. I'm heading home now, and I will come back at this and finish this up in another day.
Well, I learned something, and I learned it from a website called FerrariChat.com, where I tend to lurk. I really don't participate that much. Sorry, guys. Anyways, I learned that Ferrari originally only polished one valve cover, and they left the other one in its natural casted state. And what I thought was had been sandblasted was actually just the way it came. Now, Terry, being the wise man that you know he is, he says he can make these look real sweet. So I'm letting him go for it. Let's see what he's got. While he's doing that, I'm going to finish reassembling my motor. It's time to put the cam seals in, and to do that I'm using a little bit of what's referred to as Honda sealant. I learned to use it as a young dealer mechanic, and I've just kind of stuck with it. It really, really works well. It's like a really sophisticated RTV. I don't want to goop it on there like the previous guy. I just want to put it in very few select spots where the mating surfaces join. And now I'm going to gently move the seals into place without popping the little spring that's in there or folding over the surface, which in this case ain't so easy. So I'm just going to take my time with it. I need the valve covers now, so let's go back and check on Terry's progress. I acquired a can of VHT crinkle paint, and it's actually pretty cool stuff. You put it on and then you throw it in the oven and warm it up and let it cook on, and I went with black. Yes, I know the Ferrari purists are going to be offended by that, but hey, it's my car, I don't care. And you know what? My hat is off to Terry. He did a bang-up job, as you'll see momentarily.
Look at that wrist technique. But actually it's starting to shape up pretty good as we pull all the tape off of it. It's not looking bad, actually. Surprised.
Now apparently my battery must have died because I didn't actually get any footage of me putting the valve cover on the engine. So you're just gonna have to use your imagination. Or you can just wait for me to get to the other side, because I'm pretty sure I got that footage. I swear finding the specs for these things takes longer than actually doing the job. The torque is 6.5 foot-pounds. It took considerably longer to get these cam seals in. It must have been the odd angle, but I've cut out a lot of footage. And because you missed the other side, we're gonna do this one slow-mo. Almost there, almost there. Yes! Yes! It's done! Terry's come to check out his work. I'm sure if you look him up on Instagram, you'll find a picture of these valve covers. I'm gonna say it again. I'm really happy with the way these turned out. Now for the finale, we're gonna head off back to the body shop for a few minutes more with Lawrence. All right, so it's just after Christmas. We're in the new year. What's the date today? Today is the 9th, January 9th. It's been a few weeks since I shot that initial footage. I've come back to remove the doors. I helped Lawrence remove the doors because we have a couple issues on the doors. And it's a Saturday and Lawrence is working on a Saturday. Let's take a look at the car and let's get these doors off. Well, Lawrence, you've made quite the progress while we've been on Christmas break.
Yeah.
I see you've got these holes for the lights back in here. Excellent. Excellent. Thing looks fantastic, dude.
Looks like a Ferrari now.
Yeah, it looks like looks like a different beast now.
That's right. Yeah.
Wow, I'm impressed. All right, so let's open this door. This is either going to take 20 minutes, or it's going to take,
It's doesn't take that long.
It's either going to take 20 minutes, or it's going to take 5 hours,
All day.
or all day.
Yeah.
It depends on these rusty pins.
Yeah, so we gotta take that out and we can finish up inside here.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So, can I remove some of this tape or this paper?
Remove everything there.
Yeah. I just need to get in there. All right. I'm gonna grab my air chisel and just see if looking at this, I can see it is turning with the door, meaning it sees to the door portion. The intent is to remove the doors by taking the pins out. That way when Lawrence goes to put the doors back on, he just pops 2 new pins in and he doesn't have to worry about realigning it.
The bottom one moved easy, the top one's not moving easy.
As you very well know, things don't always go as planned, though.
Alright, we're gonna need heat.
Yeah, I'm gonna need to touch this.
you have any water or anything in case do you have any water or anything?
Yeah.
I spent over an hour on this upper hinge trying to get this pin out, and all I was doing was destroying it.
Okay, thanks. Ooh. So Lawrence, here's an idea. If we, like, I can get the bottom pin out, if the top one's probably gonna make more work for you. Like if we leave this here, take that pin out and unbolt it there. So leave, this pin's moving easily.
Right.
So I can pull that pin out there. This pin is gonna be a bitch.
Yeah.
If I take it out there and take one hinge but leave one hinge, because that's where the shims are, right?
Yeah.
Can we get it back using the guidance of that one?
Should be able to.
Okay. Because I know what's going to happen is that I'm going to slip and I'm going to go right through the door
Yeah.
and create more work for you.
Because even a ratchet should make it come, right?
Well, this
The
one's
only
already.
thing if it's
This one's
if you
already.
could put some heat.
Yeah, I'll put some heat in there, but this one's already rounded, right?
You see?
So I want to hit this one with a. I want to hit it with this.
When looking at it closely, we can see the passenger side door has alignment shims in the bottom hinge. It's definitely had some work done to it at some point. So if we can leave that one alone, it should make it a lot easier to get this door back on without fussing with it. Lawrence will paint the doors off the car and then put them back on after they're painted. The less fussing that he has to do, the less chance he's going to scratch the new paint.
Oh, look at that!
Ratchet heat good.
Oh. Didn't even need heat.
Got it?
Come on, damn it, move!
So, Laura, I'm gonna heat this up. I've got the vice grips on here. And then I'm gonna go and hit the vice grips from underneath. Can you put your hand, can you like try and pull up on the vice grips? Hang on, let me go back to my idea. It is moving with mine. So.
We spent about another hour in this position heating that pin and slowly pushing it out. It didn't move as nearly as easy as I thought it was going to.
Yeah. No,
It's out, dude. It's out.
Oh, it's out there. Alright, take that.
Okay, it's free.
Now, there's the only hole we found. Is that safe to say that that's the only hole we found? Or was kind of? Kind of. I'm not sure I like that.
Luke, why are you sweating so?
Holy, it's like 1,000 degrees in here.
Yeah, make sure you put that in the video.
What is this, Trinidad?
That's right.
Oh,
It's a hot-blooded guy. That's
look
working.
at me.
You make sure that's on the video.
My sweet baby Jesus.
Yes. It's winter time.
I swear it's like the islands in here.
Right.
Not much of a different story on the other side, except that I was up against the wall and had less access. The driver's side door did not have the same alignment issues that the passenger side. I tried to get the pins out, but by this point I was pretty burnt out. I'm going to take the doors back to the shop with me, fix that small hole, and fix the speaker hole, the massive speaker hole that's in there. All right, so I think that brings part 7 to a finale. Catch you on the next one, and don't forget to subscribe.